crafty friends, Carrie here with Handcrafted by Carrie. Today we're going to make some ATC coins, and I am going to be using some stencils and some distressed oxide inks to make my bases. So this really pretty rose lace one. So I've already pre-cut my circles. I used a die and I just cut some chipboard, and some of that chipboard is from that previous project where I had used glimmer mist and had leftover cardboard. Now the ones that are plain, that I don't have that glimmer mist on, I am going to cover them with paper. Now you could pre-cut your circles using a punch or a die. You can hand cut these by tracing a circle that's about 2.5 inches and then very carefully cutting it. I did not pre-cut the paper because I wasn't sure which papers I was going to use. So what I'm going to do is glue this down onto the paper, and then I will take a pair of scissors and then just very carefully cut right along the edge of the circle. And you just have to kind of take your time so you get a smooth edge. And if you get an edge that's not perfectly smooth, you can use some kind of sandpaper or file or a sanding block to kind of smooth it out. And that takes care of that one. And then I'm going to use this paper on this one. And I just put the glue on, and this is just a regular PVA glue. It's not anything special. And I do use my finger to rub it around the edge because I want to make sure it gets all the way out to the edge. And I'm just going to keep doing that till I get all of the circles covered. If you don't have a lightweight chipboard, such as a cereal box or something that you can cut these out of, if you have 12 by 12 paper pads, a lot of times the cover, especially the back cover, is a lightweight chipboard, which can be very good to use to cut it out. But if you don't have anything like that around the house, you can put together probably about 3 or 4 layers of cardstock, depending on the thickness of your cardstock. You want a sturdy base because these are going to be little pieces of artwork. So you want the base to be able to hold the weight and not bend for whatever you might end up adding on to these. And you can make a bunch of these at one time, or you could just make one. It just depends on what your mood is. I am doing these, some of these are going out in a swap, and then some I'm keeping. So anyway, we'll just continue this and finish cutting these out. Then the next thing I'm going to show you, so this is a sanding block. I got this at the Dollar Tree in the tool section. And I'm just going to take a couple of these where I didn't like the edges, and I just run the sand block over it. And that just kind of smooths it out and gives you a good smooth edge if you don't have that. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready to do some stenciling. And I am just going to use my Distress Oxide inks. I like Distress Oxide for this because they're almost like a paint. They're very creamy. It's a very different texture if you don't have these compared to the regular Distress ink. And I'm just going to mention, if you are interested in purchasing any Distress Oxide inks, I have several colors available in my Etsy store. And my Etsy link is always in the description of my videos. So I'm just kind of deciding which parts of the stencil to use. And right now I'm trying to see if I can do a transfer of the excess ink, but it didn't really work. It didn't stay wet enough. So I'm just going on to the next one. And I will just be doing this with all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and speed that up now. So I'm using my favorite combinations of pinks and oranges. That's just really a combo that I really like. And so I have, I think the Distress Oxide in pink, picked raspberry and candy apple, I believe. And then I believe I have marigold are the colors that I'm using. And I'm sorry that my camera is shaking. My tripod sits on the table and unfortunately when I rub it shakes. Okay, now I think what I'm doing, I think I'm using worn lipstick here, which is a little bit of a lighter pink. And I'm just going in and kind of using the ink that's remaining in the pads and not redipping it for that one. So anyway, this is really the first start. To me, when I'm doing things like artist trading cards or artist trading coins, I like layering. I like to use different things. I think that helps give it a more unique look. So like even the ones that I put paper on, I am coming in and doing some stenciling. And I just kind of look around and decide what piece of the stencil I want to use. I'm also going to somehow figure out a better way so that I have my camera centered better so I don't go in and out of frame so much when I'm doing these. Which right now I'm not doing bad, but on some of my videos I tend to get out of frame a lot. Okay, so now I have finished up the stenciling, but then I'm going to find one that I forgot to do here in just a second. Staying right there by my hand. And there I go. I'm like, oh, I missed this one. Okay, so all of that work closing all these up, I'm going to have to open things back up and come back in. Right now, I'm trying just putting my little pads in the in with the ink, and it works on some of them, but it doesn't work on all of them. I saw somebody, I believe it was Linda Israel, who uses Velcro on the bottom of her pads, and I think I'm going to try that. I just haven't done that yet. And there goes Draco, my helper and thief. And now I'm looking, I have some book pages, and I'm going to look for some words and some pictures on them that I might want to use. So in this part, you can really use anything you want. I like these two little girls that are in this book. This was a book that I had that I altered and had made a journal out of called The Swan Maidens. And I had some pages left. And so I like these with the two little girls together. And I decide, rather than use the back circle background around them, that I am just actually just going to cut it out fussy cut around the two little girls and put it on. As I go on decorating, I am going to speed this video up here in a few seconds. You're just looking for whatever appeals to you for decorating, and you're going to see I'm going to use some different things. I'm going to use lace and butterflies and other assorted things. I also use a lot of words, either words that I cut out or words from like the Tim Holtz Chit Chat and stuff like that. Or I do some hand lettering on some of these. Anything that you see from me as far as things like ATCs, coins, tags, you always find that I usually put something on it, some kind of word, some kind of saying. That's just something that's, to me, it's inspiring, and it's kind of, I don't know, my trademark. And then here I'm just going to trim this so that it fits nicely onto the coin, because you don't want anything coming off of your coin. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and speed up here. Okay, so I found a little phrase that I liked, and I did some walnut stain ink around it, and then I put it on. So then I have this cute little one here that says, "Be beautiful." Okay, and next I'm going to use this little ballerina from the Tim Holtz paper dolls. I love her. I've used her in several projects. I think she just looks so happy. And then I'm taking a piece of music paper and I'm just tearing it. And then I'm just looking at it here. I'm going to tear a little more so that it'll fit onto my circle. And then I'm just going to do the walnut stain around the edges. This helps give it a little bit of dimension and makes it stand off from your background a little bit. And I just put down a little bit of wet glue, and then I just use my finger to smear it around, which is why I usually have baby wipes when I'm crafting, because I'm a messy crafter. Okay, and then I'm going to take the worn lipstick, and I'm going to go around the edge of the girl, because I didn't want to do her with the walnut stain. I decided I wanted to get a little pink in on her. And then I'm going to do basically the same thing, put some glue on the back, and put her down onto this card. Okay, and then I just kind of tear off the edges that are overhanging the circle. And then I'll take a little walnut stain and just come around on those edges so that they match the rest of the paper. And then I have a couple of little words that I'm going to put on here with her. And I do the same thing. I just added some walnut stain and then a little bit of glue. And then I just come in here and I'll put them on. Okay, and then this one says choose beauty and goodness. And I'm moving on to my next one. I have this one that's a couple. I tried to find the one that was for the wedding, but I couldn't find it, because I have found this little phrase that says with all my heart. So I went ahead and just chose this couple and put it on with them. And then I have this one with these two little girls that I'm going to do next. And I'm adding a butterfly. And I'm going to add some little teeny rhinestones to my butterfly. Just using the points of my scissors to get them straightened up, because it's a very small workspace. Then I add some glue to the bottom of the butterfly. And I did make a 2-layer butterfly. And I decide I'm going to use some of this lace with gold trim. And so I just cut it to match. And then I have some of these teeny little paper flowers that I made. I showed that in a project share. So I'm going to make a little cluster of those. And then I'm adding a little piece for a leaf. Okay, and then this one I'm going to add this white lace right along the edge. I'm taking a piece of paper and a ticket. I'm just working to make a little cluster here, so basically I'm just deciding what I want. I'm making a double butterfly, and I put a little bit of glitter on the top layer of that butterfly. And then I'm adding in a little flowers. And that one, the ticket says music in the park. Okay, so here I'm putting glue all around the edge. And I'm just going to dump some glitter on, shake off the excess, and I just pat it down a little bit with my finger into the glue. And I'm going to do some hand lettering on here. And it's going to say, listen to your heart song. That's a phrase I had come up with a while back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand tear a heart out of music paper. And then I'm going to go around it with the worn lipstick and a little bit of the candy apple. And then I'm just going to put it down. And then I'm going to write the word heart song over the music paper. And what I do when I'm handwriting, I'm using a micron pen, and I go over my letters a couple of times. It gives them a almost hand calligraphy sort of look. And now I'm using my Crystal 3D, which is very similar to glossy accents, and I trace over the letters, and when it dries, it gives the letters a raised, clear coat. And on here I'm writing believe. That's one of my words. If you watch my videos, you'll see I use believe, and I use joy and faith, and a lot of times I'll have something that says believe in magic. Those are just some of my little go-to phrases. Because I personally believe that there's magic all around us. I think we make it. It's the things that we find that are beautiful and simple, or the unexpected. So here I'm gluing on a little piece of like a olive green lace, and a little piece that I cut for a leaf with this flower. And then I decided to add, and I'm pretty sure I add joy on this one. Yes, that's what I did. I did joy. And then I'm going to come in. And now I'm doing the believe I did with the glue as well. Thinking about whether I want to use a piece of a doily. I think I decide not to. Okay, let's see. I think I put beautiful. No, you are perfect. And now I'm adding some little rhinestones in. And I'm taking some, this is similar to Stickles, it's a Studio G, and it's in pink. And on this, I'm kind of going across the letters with it, as well as around the edge. Okay. Okay, I decided to glitter this whole one here. And then similar to when I made my tags, I'm going to add some crystal 3D over it and smooth it out so that it won't flake off all over the place. Okay. I'm going to add some lace in. And I decide to come in and add some little sequin flowers right along the edge of the lace. And I decide to do another butterfly. Okay. Then I'm going to do some hand lettering. I think I put faith on this one. Yes, I put faith. And then here again, I'm just going to follow my letters with the fine tip, my crystal 3D. And then this is going to be the last one that I make. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspires you to get creative and make your own artist trading coins. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, please do.